Welcome, everybody. I know the graphics still on the screen because I want to block your next presenter because this is the returning champion, the defending, undisputed. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, give a warm welcome to your man, your myth, your legend, the one and only. Which button do I press? Let me see. Dan Norton.
Live. Hey there. Welcome to OnSet. Thanks for the people that came. This is OnSet.
This is great.
This is it, yeah. So this is OnSet. I am Daniel Norton. We're back in the Adorama event space with very little time to. Oh, yeah, I will get to it. There's very little time to prep, so I'm glad that some people got to get here. If you're still in New York, you got time. Get here.
Yeah.
There's free popcorn. There's not really, but don't tell that. The mic is booming. That's Seth, because Seth does this with the microphone. He eats the microphone. That's why it's booming. I'm sure I sound fine, but let me know how the audio is. Check out the upper. Nope, pointing the wrong way. The corner over here. You're going to see a QR code. That right there. You scan that in. You take your phone out right now. Do it. Unless you're watching this on your phone. Then I don't know what you're going to do. Screenshot it. You'll figure it out. Check that out. That leads to Adorama events, adorama.com/events. That'll tell you all the new stuff going on here in the space. So it's open. Come to the store, see the events. Yes, some of them are Seth, but you know, hey, the rest are other people, which is very good. So on that, I have Cadence here, boom, and Seth on the mighty mix.
You haven't done that in a while.
It's been a long time.
I have a microphone now, too.
He does have a microphone. You know, the one comment that people say is, can Seth have a microphone? He's got one now. Yeah, you're welcome. You will not be happy with that. Anyways, so today we're going to talk about using constant lights. If you have questions in the audience or online, go ahead and ask. There's like a little screen here so I can see stuff going on. Brazil, nice.
Everyone in the chat, just do yourself a favor, and for Daniel, just put 3 cues before your question so Dan can find them easily, all right, guys? He's very nearsighted.
I am incredibly nearsighted. That is true. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I cannot see. So anyways, we're going to talk about using constant lights. I will say I do this demo every once in a while because many years ago, and I'm pretty sure I was on a stream when I said it. This is the disadvantage of being a streamer. I said, you know, LEDs are fine, but you're not really able to use them for professional portraits. They're not strong enough. The color's not great. Well, Daniel from the past, you're wrong. They've gotten really good, and you can use them for a lot of things. So, and I use quite a bit of LEDs in my work now. Today we're going to work with the Godox series of LEDs. The Knowled. No, that's not Knowled. These are called like special or something.
They're Knowled. Look, Knowled.
Knowled. That's how you say it. I thought it was Knowled series. Oh. These are some professional LEDs that I just found out about. No, I'm actually using them for the first time, which is pretty awesome. That's one reason why we're here. And we're going to check them out. There's some cool stuff here. Now, yes, you could throw a softbox on these, which I'm going to do, and do the same thing you normally do, which is great if you're just learning lighting, right? I had a question earlier, a little pre-show question about what you might do if you were just learning. Now, I will start off by saying that probably if you're going to do stills photography only, you may eventually want to move to flash. Flash is going to be the ultimate because there's reasons to use flash. 99 of these presentations I do, we use flash. So, but here I'm going to talk about the advantages and why you might use LEDs. And I'll look at this camera sometimes too, just to really confuse. Oh, that one. So what we're going to do is first, let's go simple. We're going to talk about advantages. Well, the first advantage is if you're shooting and you're just starting, right, and you've been shooting, right, assuming you've been making portraits of people, you're used to using the meter in your camera. You're used to judging the exposure by looking at your screen. You're used to all that. You can do the same thing with constant light. So that's what we're going to do here. But I'll also quickly talk about one of the first disadvantages, which is if you're in a bright space, like let's say, for instance, you're streaming on YouTube, then you will have to be concerned with that. Oh, Seth turned it off. Very nice. All right. That's where power comes in, right? Because people often ask about, I'm going to lean on my tripod. People often ask me about power. You're going to want more power when you're in a bright space. That's why you need it. I used to have people come to me all the time and be like, oh, I'm doing this night shot. I need a lot of power. No, you don't need a lot of power to shoot at night if it's dark, right? Because power is all about overcoming your environment. So I'm going to use the brightest light I have, the 300 BI, which is a bicolor light. So this light is fitted into, and if you've been watching the last bunch of streams, you know that, well, I eat my words a lot in this stream. These para snaps are very nice. I'm going to just say, I was always like, why do you want a light that just pops open? Like, is that convenient? Yes, I recommend these highly. They work with this LED light. There is a 1200 version of this. They have their own softboxes. They're a bit hotter, so you want to use special softboxes with those. But with this one, a regular power snap will work. I'm using the square box. Why? Because nobody uses a square box. Be different. All right, click this on. Boom, nothing happened. Click this on, here we go. He'll cut that part, okay, here we go. All right, so we've got our light. I'm gonna start off with a very simple portrait. I have my camera set up so that what I see is what I get, as they say, meaning that I'm looking at the back. Remember the black frame? We can do the same thing. Boom, right? Now, but flash shutter speed, that's not gonna matter, right? And I'm at f5. The frame looks black. So I'm gonna look. Why am I doing a black frame? Because I want to make sure that none of the light that Seth's got going on here is affecting my shot, yes.
All right, everyone in the chat, just sit tight. I know we're buffering. Just keep it going and refresh your stream if you're having trouble, okay, guys?
Yeah, we got a little buffering going on. Moses, all right.
What's up, kid?
I believe the only person to ever be married in Adorama.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Twice actually, right?
Yeah.
Well, once, but yeah, we won't talk about that. All right, so I'm looking through the camera now, it's dark. All we have to do is turn our light on and we'll use the dimmer and we're just gonna look at the back of the camera. I'm at 1%, 2%, all right, I'm gonna go faster than that. And we're just gonna dial it up until we start to see her. And hopefully, it is turning on, right? Yep, okay. And hopefully, eventually she'll get bright enough where we can see a picture. Okay, that's all the way. So we're learning that she's a little dark still. Yep, yeah, I do that. So we can see she's a little dark. I told you I never used this before. What can we do? Nice. I know, I should put the light on the other side, but here's the thing. If I put the light on this side, then we block the model, you can't see her. It's terrible. What should I do? What? It's not bright enough. Go home, buy another light? Oh. Inverse square. I'm about to do math. Ready? Boom. Math. Did you see that? I doubled my exposure. How did I do it? By moving my light closer. That's how you do it. If you don't have enough light, you move it closer. This is why we like to have big light sources, because we can have some variation, right? I can move it closer, I can move it further away. We're gonna keep a nice soft light no matter what. I'm gonna get it slightly better, in a better position. It's always nice when the light touches your camera. That's how you know you're doing it right. If the light's not touching your camera, not doing it right.
Dan.
Yep.
Question in the chat, advantages of setting the softbox diagonal?
Diagonal?
Is there an advantage to setting the softbox diagonal? You know exactly what he's talking about. Stop acting like you're good.
No, I don't. Tilted?
Diagonal. If you were to do something like this.
Right, but I'm not doing that.
I know, he's asking if there is.
Oh,
Jeez,
whoa.
man. Jeez.
No, I mean, maybe. Let's see.
Let's see.
Yes. In this case, not really. Why? I'm not sure where the question's coming from. Can you do that? Sure. When you're doing a softbox, all right. So let's break this down. Forget about that question, because I think that's so precise and kind of odd. Sorry, but when you think about your light source, you want to think about how it's affecting your subject, right? So if I have my box, and this is square, so it's hard for me to really do much, but I have it, let's say, like this. So much of the box is in front of her, right? And so much is behind her. How I adjust that will and can affect my shot. So sure, if I make it diagonal, then I get a little bit more here. But in the scheme of things, with this box in this position, it's not gonna matter. If I was using a strip box, it would make a lot of difference.
There you go.
So it matters what light you're using. So with this light, no, but I'm gonna do it because it looks cool. So there we go.
Welcome back, Dan.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So you started out for the black screen at I think it's F5. Why F5? Why that particular one?
So why did I set my camera at f5? Well, I set my camera so that none of the light in the space would affect my shot.
Right?
Okay, so 100 ISO is the lowest in the normal range. 200th of a second gives me a good shutter speed so she doesn't move around too much. I can freeze her on some level.
Okay.
And then I just adjusted my aperture until it was dark. Right?
Okay.
So why f5? That's why. Why not f8? Because then I would need more light to get her lit. Right? You have to then decide how much, where you want to be, right? Why not 1.2? Because I'm not an Instagrammer. All right. I'll do that at the end if people aren't satisfied. All right, so let's take a picture because we know it's always good to take a picture. Sorry, I got it when you weren't ready. All right, there we go. Boom. Cadence is looking all picture-y. All right, here we go. We got a shot, nice and clean. And what's nice about this is that we have two things going on. One is, again, what I see is what I get. If you are learning and you're using a box that's maybe not as gentle as this is a big square softbox. If you can't get a good clean portrait with this, oh, I don't know, man. Watch more videos on Adorama TV. But this is easy, right? It's big, it's soft, it wraps around. It doesn't make a difference. I can go triangle, I can go half triangle, I can go vertical, oh, I can go horizontal. Right? I can move it like this a little bit. Like it's gonna be fine, right? You'd have to be so far off. And believe me, I've seen people mess it up, so I'm kind of tongue-in-cheek here, but to not be able to land it, right? This is easy, gentle, quick shot, clean, right? I can see it. But if we use something that's a little bit harder to really know if it's gonna be great, something we really wanna see where the light falls, that's where the constant light shines. See it shines? Like that? Gavin Hoey! Gavin's in the house.
There's a question, what's your white balance?
Oh, what's my white balance? 5,000. Why is my white balance 5,000?
Better than $499.
Because Seth told me, if you're gonna shoot Nikon, set your white balance to 5,000. And I did it. That's it.
I just think the skin tones look better.
Yes, because now, there is a little trick here though. I'm at 5,000, but so is the light. So the better question is, what's my white balance relative to my light source? It is on target, which is why she looks a little bit warmer than you might often see when I'm shooting strobe, because strobes are cooler than 5,000. Okay? So again, it's all about context here. If I turn this up to 5,600, which is what I think, now of course I could have adjusted it in the computer, and there we go. So that's a little bit more neutral, right? Because for some reason, you get a bit of it more neutral skin tone on this camera when you are shooting 5,000, but the lights are 5,600, if that makes sense. Your camera's gonna be different. Experiment. We used to, talk about old stuff. Back in the day, when we used to shoot film, Kodak film, right? We'd buy a bunch of it. And then we had these little baby dolls. They were of different skin tones, darker skin tone, a lighter skin tone, and we would put them in the studio under this controlled light that we already knew, and we would shoot our film straight. Then we'd develop it, and we'd look at it and go, okay, this batch of film is a little bit more cool. We're gonna warm this up when we use it. Or this batch of film is a little bit warm. We're gonna cool it off. And we would then filter to get what we wanted. With digital, you can kind of do it on the fly, and with bicolor lights, you can do it really on the fly. So that's kind of what I'm doing here. I'm thinking, how does my sensor absorb light? How does my sensor feel? How do I like it, right? Because I get to make that choice. My camera doesn't make the choice, right? Like Joe McNally's t-shirt, right? My camera didn't go to art school. I mean, neither did I, but you know, anyways. Actually, I did. All right, let's move on to something more, we'll say interesting. That's a softbox. We all know softboxes. Oh, if I keep pressing the buttons, it'll eventually turn off. There we go. Okay. Ugh, wow, you have heavy C-stands. By the way, you are watching this on Adorama TV. There is a new Adorama YouTube channel. Do you want to be cool? Do you want to be part of the newest channel ever? Check it out. Adorama Events. And you can see Seth's video on there. All right. Let's get down to it, because let's be honest here. If we're just going to use softboxes, we might as well just use what we got, right? But we want new gear, right? We're photographers, we're video makers. We're like, I want new stuff. What's cool and new? Check this out. This is, I'm not going to say the names of things, 'cause I don't know what they are. Actually, this is Knowled, is that how you say it? Knowled. This is Knowled F24BI. Boom. Look at how skinny it is. Look at that. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's kind of, is that giving you a breeze? It's kind of warm in New York. Boom, this is fantastic. The flat LEDs, we've seen them before. You know, they seem to kind of come and go out of fashion, but I love the idea of these flat things. You can put them in places you can't put other stuff, right? But I'm just going to use it more or less like a softbox and show you what we can do with this little tiny thing. You can imagine shooting something in a small space, right? You need to do an interview, you're shooting in a car, you're shooting somewhere really small, a closet if you're doing stuff like Seth does. You know, boom, you put this, stick it to the wall, right? Little gaffer tape. All right,
We're in the same studio. How am I shooting in a closet? You, me, are
I'm
we
not quite
share
sure
the
why
same
he's in the
studio?
closet. he's yeah, wasn't that a song? Oh, we don't talk about that though, because I think that artist kind of got some stuff, right? Okay, I'm not gonna, we'll cut that part. All right, this is very bright. They make a softbox for this. Is it blind, you guys? Because I really want to blind you all. I like doing it, okay. This is basically, look how pretty it is. They make a softbox, they make a grid. I'm just going raw, just kind of show you what potential we have here. What's nice about this is, again, it's the size of it, right? We can move it in close. People tell me all the time, oh, Daniel, I have a small space. I can't have a big flash or a softbox. No, you want big when you have a small space, because if we want to cover cadence from here to here, look at how, I can put this light right here, I'm covering her. And it's nice and soft because it's big relative to her, because it's close. Close, big, right? Cadence is head, boom, right? Questions about this? Is cool, right? You know you like it. All right, here we go. Once again, I can just bring this in. Do I want to shoot at a different aperture? Pick an aperture. F8. Well, I don't know if I can pull that up. I'm gonna try. All right, I'm going to F8 because somebody was like, F8, be there. All right, well. So here I am. I'm at F8 and I'm looking and I'm like, oh, you know, she looks a little dark. She's looking at me and she's like, oh, I look dark, Daniel. And I'm like, oh, you do look a little dark. And I'm like, hold on. Get ready in the audience. You're about to get blinded. Let's count together. 34, 35. No, I'm not gonna do all that, okay. We're just gonna turn this up until she looks appropriate, right? Boom, there she is. Easy as that. Keeping it simple. You can't do that with the Windows, right? I don't mean like the operating system. You might be able to do it with the Windows operating system, but I haven't used it in a long time. I used to use Windows 95. And there we go, right? Look at how pretty that is. I went closer to you. And what's cool about this, I'll do a Seth. Look at all the dots in her eyes. Of course, it's not sharp because I'm more than 100%, but you know, you get what I'm doing.
You'll do it. I'm the only one that does.
Seth's the only person that ever does it. But what's cool, because this is so skinny and lightweight, much like me, you can really manipulate. All right, this could be dangerous. Look at this, brand new sandbags. Oh, okay. Well, this one's empty, I think. All right. There we go, that's heavy. All right. This is full of Seth's pennies from home.
I think those are tools.
Tools. We can take this, and what we can create with this, because it's so easy to manipulate. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna hit you. I don't think I am. Anyways. No, we're good. I have faith in myself. Now, it's important when using a C-stand to put your foot on it like this. Like, watch. Okay, there you go. So you want to put the long leg out towards the weight. You want to put the sandbag on the long leg. You want to make sure it's not touching the ground. Then we're going to raise this up. And what we're getting to here, this is like a disco.
I was thinking of like, it kind of reminded me of like the Law and Order shows with like the interrogation.
Yeah, interrogation. That's right.
Interrogation, yeah.
I'm all about interrogation around here.
Where's an interrogation fit? This is a man.
No, so what we got here is effectively the light in front of me. Now, we can obviously manipulate the angle of it, but I kind of, well, okay. We can manipulate the angle of it if we want, but let's just leave it right overhead. Because I kind of like the sparklies. It reminds me of when, do they still have like when you go to Times Square and there's like little lights above you and you kind of, no? I haven't been to Times Square in a while.
I think they closed down the McDonald's.
Oh, the McDonald's, yeah, it was the McDonald's that did that. That was pretty awesome. Yes, I'm classy. When I go to Times Square, I go to McDonald's. All right, so I've got this here, nice and simple. Nobody really shoots at f8, so I'm going to kind of close down, open up a little bit. We're going to go 4.5 just for you. All right, and we're going to take a look. Boom. Nice and clean. I guarantee, we've got a nice beauty shot there, right? Nice and clean. And you know what we can use?
You want to use the box or a board?
All right. This video is brought to you by the Brooklyn Reflector. These are made by hand in Brooklyn, by Seth.
Go easy. It's a prototype.
It's a prototype. It'll fall apart, but it's cool to have. All right. So this is basically just a piece of whiteboard. We can bring it in, boom, underneath, fill it in, get a nice clean shot, boom, and we're good to go, right? There it is, clean, right?
Do the silver.
Oh, it says too bright. Want me to do silver? I'll do silver later. All right. What's nice about this, again, we can adjust our angle, just like anything else. And look at how big, by the way, just take in for a second how large this thing is. This is 2 feet. That's 2 feet, like 2/3 of a meter, 200 centimeters. That's probably not accurate. Okay, no, that'd be 97. Somebody do math. By 4 foot.
Somebody do math. Do the math.
Do the math for me. But we can actually take this here, and because it's so large, again, it's going to be soft. It's also kind of punchy, which is why it's nice for a beauty light. If we want it to be more diffused, let's say, for instance, you have a subject that doesn't have, very, very super clean skin, you can bust out a diffuser like this. Boom, look at that, like a flag, right? But it's a diffuser flag. It's a one-stop diffuser. I had it on a C-stand, but that's just too easy. So I'm going to kind of bring this in just to, and again, I'm not softening the light, I'm diffusing it. That's probably going to be a little dark now, but let's just take a look. Yeah, it is, okay. I thought so.
It's a two-stop, right?
Yeah, it's a two-stop, so I'll come in.
You have to open.
I'm going to open it. Actually, what I'll do is, because I have shutter speed, so I was at 4.5, I'll go to 4, and then I'll go to 125. Yeah, I'll go to 100. That's what we like to shoot at these days. Nobody shoots at like the 125s and stuff anymore. It's all solid values. And we can very easily bring in a nice diffused light, right? Which is going to be a little bit softer as far as your texture, but not soft as far as shadows, right? Diffusion breaks up your specular highlight. Make sense so far?
What
This is
if
pretty
you
cool.
didn't do just directly overhead? What if you pitched it a little bit?
Right. Okay, officially, oh, here we go. Officially, it's 121 centimeters by 63 centimeters. I knew that. Okay, so this is kind of the direct overhead beauty technique. You could definitely give it some angle. You go diagonal. Sorry, when you make a statement like that, you get razzed for the entire. All right, yep, I got it. See, if this was a flash, I'd never be able to do it because I'm old. All right, so here we go. Oops. Yeah, we got a little cable. Thank you, sir. This is actually really nice. I might take this home.
It does fold in fours.
Do not tell the security guard at the front.
You can't. It doesn't roll, but you can fold it in 4.
It folds in 4, and they make one double this size, I've been told. I have not got access to it yet. Not double, but I'm not 4 times the size, but double. Oh, yeah. Okay. Oh, a little overexposed. Very like 80s. Yeah, look at me like you're some 80s. Nope, too overexposed. Okay. I did like that 80s look though. All right, here we go. Looking through, beautiful. Boom. Pitched, nice, clean. Oh, even the hair works. This is very nice. I think I'm done. Sorry, guys. No, no. This is again simple. Here's the other thing that's really great about this, because somebody probably said it already. When you blast somebody in the face with a big bright light, what happens is their eyes, the colorful part of the eye, the iris gets real big, right? And then you get all kinds of color. And guess what? Didn't have to do it in Photoshop because I don't know how to do it in Photoshop, but some people do. I'm gonna do it again. with a reflector. This is actually the original Brooklyn reflector, even though that one says original. Yeah, it's like there's a lot of like original rays. There you go. That's clean.
Yeah, boy. Hold on.
That's her like 90s album cover. She plays the piano and sings about, you know, playing at the Lilith Fair. There's still the Lilith Fair? No?
That's a big difference.
I'm looking at you guys, I'm thinking all of you have been to Lilith Fair. Not a single one? I can't believe it. All right. All right, so. That's actually really, I'm really liking this. I like to use new stuff for the first time on stream, because then it makes me buy things. All right. So this is cool, right? Flat, panels, large, doesn't take up any space. And again, if we had the one that was twice the size, it still wouldn't be any deeper. When you start getting soft boxes, right? So let's go back. This is actually a very shallow softbox, but soft boxes you're going to have depth, right? Here, you can really get away with it being super thin. I mean, you could actually have somebody just hold this. 2 people holding it. I think we can do it. Volunteers. Nobody got up. I know it. Nobody stood up. Somebody's going to have to stand up. Volunteers. Come on. Come on.
Oh, now you're all heroes? Now you come? Okay.
All right. Somebody hold this side. Hey, good to see you. All right. This is what you get. By the way, part of this, just so you understand Daniel's mental state here, is I have to break this all down at the end of the demo, so I'm kind of doing it right now.
See, Dan, to me, the advantage would be like, let's say you don't have a stand, you could zip tie it to a ceiling.
That's right.
You could just...
That's right. Or, come on, get a little manipulation here. Yeah, let's get it. Let's get it in spirit. Boom. They can just hold. I know, you're like, there's a stand there, but that's okay. What if you didn't have a stand? What if, like, you were somewhere without a permit, and you're like, oh, you know what? I really like this old building with no permit. I'm going to make a quick shot. Boom. You're in. Because this can run on V-mount batteries. All right, here we go. Boom. And if you had a third person to hold the reflector, because you know I'm not holding it. I'm too old for that. Boom. And we're working it, and it's like, yeah, cover of Vogue. Boom, boom, boom. Done. Oh, pictures did come out, right? Oh, yeah, there's the comment. Okay. Well done. Well done, guys. Did that feel good? Did you feel good about that? Did you learn something? Just say yes.
No applause? No applause for these guys?
We get no applause from me. It's okay.
They actually stood
like
up?
ties his shoes and they applaud. Nobody applauds for me. All right.
Don't even start. I was dying the other demo. I was going to don't even start.
All right. Oh, hold on. That's right. It's not mine. I'm just throwing it on the ground. We're going to come back to that. I feel like this thing could be something to poke your eye out, so I'm going to quickly move it out of the way. How heavy is it? This?
Isn't that heavy?
Oh, I don't know. How heavy is it, guys? 10 pounds?
That's not 10 pounds.
No.
Bro. This thing is not 10 pounds, homie. This is
You
10, this
know
is
why
10
you think
pounds?
it's 10 pounds?
You got to go to the gym, player.
I would say probably about 5 pounds.
You know why he thinks it's 10 pounds? Because he buys his like food by the pound at the deli. You know, you go in there, you get some potatoes, it's like $38. It's like, well, how is this 10 pounds of potatoes?
Bro, like, you can just slide this in.
I would say probably about 5 pounds.
All right, somebody online, look up how much this weighs. All right. What am I doing? Oh, wow. Seth just threw down. All right, here we go.
That's what pro gear is for.
All right. I'm breaking stuff. Oh, look at this. That's cool.
Did you think it
Am I
didn't
still
pack down?
Oh, am I streaming? Okay. All right, here we go. All right.
You know what? I don't miss babysitting you. I just want you to know that.
I'm easily distracted. All right, here we go. All right, so here's what we're really building up to. All this is just filler, sorry, to get to the meat of this thing. You know what's great when you use constant lights? Being able to really, really shape the light for relatively inexpensive. You know, if you look into like Fresnel heads and stuff like that for strobe lights, they're often quite expensive and they eat a lot of power. Some of them are great, but this has got a Fresnel head. It's like super cheap. I can't remember how much it was because I didn't pay for it, so I can say it's cheap. But we're gonna go with the Fresnel head. So if you never seen a Fresnel head before, you're about to see one. I do have it set up over there on its own light, but I'm too lazy to get it, so I'm just gonna swap this out. This is a softbox. Watch this. This is a power snap, para snap. Oh. Look at that. Looks good. Okay, throw that phone down. All right, here we go. That's mine, don't mess with it. Give me my own soft boxes, all right. All right, here we go. Fresnel lens. Ooh, that's 10 pounds.
Wait, Dan, can you do this?
Fresnel lens. Ugh, that's 10 pounds. Did you get it?
Give it open.
Oh, I was gonna open it when it was on the stand. It's heavy.
Yeah, but I want to show people what it is,
I
man.
know, but it's not strong.
Look at
Okay.
that. Look at you. Hey, you're doing demos again. Look at you.
All right, here we go. What? All right. Okay. So a Fresnel lens is basically it has concentric circles that helps you shape the light, get a nice smooth, clean, hard light that's still very, it's not gentle, but it's cleaner on the skin. If you take your bare head of your flash and just blast it at somebody, it's going to be not quite as, what you're about to say. I could sell it to you with words, or I could show you a picture. And you know what they say about pictures? What do they say about pictures?
They lie sometimes.
They lie sometimes, yes, that's true. Okay. Yes, they're worth 1,000 words. Now, for all those people that ask me every single demo, could you do a Hollywood portrait? Fresnel light, that's gonna be your secret. Well, you'll see how punchy this is. I'm still not doing that, but this is how you would do it. All right, don't look right at it, it's gonna be bright. Okay. This is a hard light source, but it's gonna be clean on the skin, meaning that it's not gonna cause a lot of odd specular highlights. This is the beauty of the Fresnel. We're gonna tilt it in, bring it down. Who's that painter with the shadows and the, oh, see. Let me know in the chat. If you were gonna paint a picture, or if you were gonna light something, oh no, I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna put it on the ground and use it as a, I am blinding the heck out of you. That's okay, yeah, sure. All right. So this can focus. There we go. And we're gonna give nice punchy. Oh, you know what it can't do though? Oh, interesting. Aha. All right, we're gonna have to do something. So what I'm noticing with this is, even though it has a yoke, I'm hitting the bottom of it already. Right? So we're gonna put an arm on here, C-sand arm. So that's gonna help me because I'm not that strong. So I'm gonna lift it up, and then if you could insert an arm for me. Thank you. Oh, I thought you were gonna use one that's right there. Yep, thank you. Cool, thank you, sir. All right, so whenever you're using a C-stand arm, you want to put the big handles to the right as you're looking at it from the back.
Hang on.
Good. Yeah. And that's going to allow us to manipulate the angle of the light.
Don't touch it.
Not going to do it yet, though. I'll put a sandbag on it because we're about to tilt it.
Don't.
Not doing anything yet. Putting 2 sandbags on it.
Yeah, I don't trust you.
Right. That doesn't trust me. Yep, I'm good. It's all good. All right. When you're doing this, you want your angle to be 47.3 degrees. Write that down.
0.3.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Oh yeah, that's very nice. Could we kill that for a second? Yeah. Okay. Oh, I can see the shadow over there too, if I could read that far. All right, nice. That looks pretty good. Okay. Beauteous Maximus. I'm sure this is fine to put a tripod on top of. All right. They're not watching, right, from Godox? All right, here we go. Oh, wow. You know what, guys? You can't do it. It's actually too nice. There is a limit on what you're allowed to do on live stream, and okay, we'll do it. By the way, I'm at 10%. Let's take a little look at the difference between soft light and hard light here, as far as proportions. That's 10%. I am still a little underexposed. 11, 12. All right, no, we'll do it. I'm gonna bring it up until we get a little. I'm gonna go a little on the hot side. Why am I at 320? Let's see. I'm gonna change this a little bit. 200 of a second. I don't need to be at 320. Let's go F4. Although really, if we're gonna do it in Hollywood, we want to actually be more closed down. So let's go 5.6. Let's go 125 because old cameras didn't go faster than that, right? You're ooh. Ooh, no, nothing. It's a little dark. Okay. All right, yeah, kind of here. There we go.
It's saying ooh online.
Ooh, yeah, thank you. There it
Oh,
is.
you got an ah too.
Ah, all right. But now I want to try something. So let's say that we have this flat light on the ground. Let's turn this thing on. This is. I'm kind of stealing this from Joe McNally a little bit. I'm not putting that much pressure on it. I think it's fine. It's not mine. Oh, geez, right in my face. Okay, because when light, so a Fresnel light, to me, is one of the closest things you can get to light coming like kind of through a window. Because it has that like punchy feel like daylight does, but it's, of course, this close to her, and the sun, in theory, is much further away than this, in theory. But if you were using, let's say, window light, like a hard window, not a soft window light, you know, like a hard window light coming through, it'd be bouncing off the ground, filling in a little bit. So this is what I'm doing here. I'm putting this on the ground, partially because I'm lazy and I don't want to pick it up, but partially because I think it'd be really cool just to have it down here, see what happens.
So there's a online. They're saying you change your settings. I guess you're not getting a black screen anymore if you took off the lights. You turn off the lights.
Oh, yeah, I definitely am. Somebody's not doing math. Hold on. Do we have to send you guys back to remedial math school? I am talking a little smack, so I hope it's actually black when I do this. Okay, you're right. It's a little bit. You got a little exposure there. Fine. I think Seth turned the daylight up a little bit. Now I'm pretty close because I was 4. Oh, no, it was 5. Okay, okay, you're right. There you go. I'll go 160. Now I'm balanced to where I was. Well, you can just a little bit though. I don't know why that is. All right, well, there we go. I will take your comment and I will adjust to it. Let's go to 200 of a second. 6.3. I have plenty of power. I can definitely do this. There we go, black frame. We're happy again. You know, you don't always have to be absolute black. It just does help a lot. There is a way to make these things like instant dim without turning them on and off, but I don't know how. All right, so I'm gonna actually set the white, I somehow manipulated the white balance here. I'm gonna bring it back to 5,000 because I don't want her to be so warm. We're at 30%. Can you look this way a little bit? Oh, sorry, that's out of focus, that's okay. I'm looking at my power. That looks about right. I'm going a little hot on the power. Let's get a shot. Okay, that's a little hot. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me adjust this. We'll cut to commercial here. It could do that, but we're not going to. I think I just took a picture of nothing because my nose touched the screen. Wouldn't be the first time that's happened. All right, here we go. I'm just going to look through the back because I find it easier to figure out your exposure looking through the back of the camera than obviously there's a meter as well in the camera, but it's showing underexposed, but I don't buy it. Okay, so we're a smidge under. Okay, here we go. This is probably good. Trying to get an accurate exposure here. All right, back where we were. See, I changed my thing and I should have done math back up the other way. All right, so we're basically here. We have dark shadows. We've got kind of a contrasty shot. What we're gonna do is we're gonna add this secondary light from the ground. And what I'm gonna do is 2 things. First of all, I'm just gonna turn it on. But what I want to do is I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit to make it a little warmer.
Do you want a question that's kind of off topic?
I would like a question, sure.
So someone in the chat says they have a medium softbox and 2 LED bulbs and working at a 10 by 10 area. How should they place the model and lights for best results? How's that for wide open ended in general? How's that?
Okay. So, right, exactly. So Seth's snarkiness was appropriate. No, it really depends on what you're going for, right? If you've got, I guess this is the online camera. Can I look this way? I like looking this way, though. Oh.
And there's your camera.
Oh.
You've done this for 10 years.
I'm on the iPhone 4. Hey. Yes, maybe. Okay, so what's the best way to place the lights? I mean, without knowing more about what you're trying to achieve, close. And what I mean by that is the closer the lights are, you get 2 things. They're bigger. Generally, people want soft light for a portrait or, which is what we're discussing here, right? So you're gonna put your lights as close as possible. As far as exactly where you frame it, it depends on your subject. But close will mean you need less power, you have more control, because when the light's close, it will be brighter, of course, which means that the background will go darker because of fall off, right? So while close seems like a very vague answer to that, that's really the trick. Get your lights in nice and close, that's gonna give you the most control. Okay, so back to this. Hopefully that helped, if that was what they meant. All right, so I've added this light on the ground, and I want you to just kind of see what I did here. We can obviously manipulate our exposure as we go.
It looks like a sunlight from here.
Yeah, but now we're getting this dark shadow. That's just our light, right? It has that punchy, almost sun coming through the window quality. And then here, we're getting that warmth in the shadow because it's like lights bouncing off a nice wood floor, not this gray floor that we have here.
Don't hit on my floor.
Which is nice. It's a nice gray floor, but it doesn't, you know, come on, Cadence lives in a place with hardwood floors. And we can manipulate this. This is the beauty of using bicolor lights. That was 4200. Let's go for 4800. And we can get a feel for how warm we want it to be. That's a little bit less warm, right? If you don't think, if it's too bright, we can always, I'm actually gonna make my entire exposure darker, to be honest with you. I think it's a smidge dark, it's a smidge bright. Yeah. There we go. All right, there we go. So now we've got filled in shadow, a little bit more neutral, because remember my main light's at 5,000. And then we have good exposure on her skin. I think it's a little bit, it's not filling in so much under her eyes. So for this particular shot, we'll need to keep her chin up. That's the only thing that you're gonna have to do here. Or you could back this up. I mean, there's lots of ways you could do it. But I think having it on the ground helps a lot. Let me just do a quick thing. I'm gonna make it a little warmer because I thought that wasn't enough. I'm gonna go down to 4,000. I'm gonna take this light, and I'm just gonna give me a tiny bit more light. I'm also gonna lower it a smidge. No, I'm not. That was heavier than I remembered. All right. And we're gonna go like that, make sure it's nice and tight, because I've dropped lights before. And by the way, this is a hard light. You do not wanna drop a hard light on a model. If you're gonna drop a light on a model, make sure it's a soft light. Come on. No. Wow, the crowd's tough today.
No, it's the same joke for the last 12 years.
I know, but you know,
So-
I gotta bring it back on.
Kind of loses that polish, man.
All right, I'm making some adjustments to my exposure here, because I feel like it. And yes, now we're gonna get a little bit of the room light in there, but I don't care. I'm just tweaking it to get to where I want it. There we go. Now we've got nice shape, and you notice because it's on the ground that it's filling in, but her face still has nice shadows on it. Obviously, we could move it wherever we want. Now, just if you're thinking to yourself, well, I would just use a reflector, you could do that, but again, it wouldn't be the same. But I am actually thinking about putting this silk in here for a couple of reasons, mostly because I wanted to diffuse that light a little bit. There we go. That's nice. Okay. So by the way, I'm not using this correctly, as usual. It's got a little knob on it. This is actually what C stands are for. All the filmmakers are like, yes. You know, you basically, you use this like this. You put it through this little guy. Whoop. Don't worry, I won't take that home.
It's a 3/8 rod for the 3/8 receptacle on your
That is correct.
knuckle.
3/8 rod for 3/8 receptacle, exactly. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it in here and make it a more, once you know it works, we can actually put it in place in a more permanent way, like this. I'll try to not hit cadence with it too much. I mean, you're allowed to, oh, this is backwards. Remember what I said about how the C-stand should be? I got this one backwards. Because this light is shining right in my face. I guess that's the downside to the bright lights.
Do you guys have any questions in the crowd while Dan's doing this awkwardly?
Yeah. Yes, let me take the time to set this up so we can immediately take it down. If anybody has a question, let me know. Anything online? Anything in the crowd? Shout it out, I can't see you. Don't worry, I'm not gonna hit you, hopefully. There we go. Nothing? It all makes sense?
Did you bring sunglasses for this?
Yes, of course. Okay. Yeah, this thing is blinding me, which is probably just not ideal. I'm in a really odd spot here. It's good when we do this when we're streaming. Let me just turn that thing off, because that's really, yeah, there we go. Nope. Okay. Oh, now I know how you feel. All right. Yes, I mean, you're really not supposed to be doing this with the lights on. And you feel, like I was just saying, the filmmakers, right, you're all gonna yell at me for messing with this. Okay, so put this in, tighten it up. And again, I just want it to come in and kind of soften the light that's coming up. And again, this is softening. It's softening and diffusing. Why is it softening? Because when the light hits this, now this becomes the light source, not that, which while it is bigger, it's further away. So compared to her, that's smaller, right? Smaller because it's further away, bigger because it's closer. This is both diffusing and softening the light. Now I turn it back on. Wow, I'll never complain that my studio is small again. Getting used to the space here again. Going full Gavin Hoey today.
You don't have to come back here. Okay?
In my day, the space was 3 feet shorter.
It was
yes.
short. It was smaller.
That's it. Got it. Done. All right. One more shot, just so we got it. All right, here we go. Blinding cadence. She's looking good. Project that chin out. Boom, 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 boom. You got to do that a lot. You got to say boom a lot when you take pictures. People like that.
What aperture are you using?
You think I know that kind of stuff? I think 5.6. The online people made me change it. 5.6.
Top left of the screen of the settings.
Oh yeah.
All right.
5.6.
All right, okay.
Now, there is one rule that I hope people have not forgotten about lighting. The more light you use, the more money you make. I've only got 2 lights going on here. I want to get paid. The third light right here. So we can use this light, maybe as a separation light, because I'm too lazy to move it. It's in the back. We could light the background with it. What should we do with it? Background, separation? Separation? Of course, the more complicated thing. All right. Where's that softbox? All right. Should I be lazy? All right, I'll use the softbox. All right, I'm going to use here. Wow, Adorama's getting a lot of love today, which is nice because we're in Adorama. This is the Paris Snap Snappity Snapper. It's a 3-foot. Oh yeah, that's good. All right, I'm going to use a little strip back.
Hey, why don't you go further off camera while you show that, please?
I'm showing it. Well, it's not my fault that the switcher can't handle. Where do you want me to precisely stand? Should I open it again for the? Hold on, people online.
What's that in the chat? Yeah, Dana doesn't have to come back here. Don't worry.
Here you go. Here you go. Seth wants me. Are you ready? Now we'll do it.
There it is. Arthritis City. Attaboy.
I used to have those things where you go, you know, this works for that. All right. I don't know what they call those. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. And then shot the ass. Yeah.
All right. So because it's so close to her, well, actually, you know what? As I mentioned before, I'm very lazy. I'm not going to put the grid on yet unless we need it. We might not want to, actually, because of the angle. All right. Because we all know that the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of reflectance. I'm just going to crank it. This is a 200 BI Knowledge. See, I got the name right. Oh, hold on. Whoosh.
Yeah, way to keep the audience. Keep making fun.
Thank you. I will, I will claim that as my technique forever. All right, here we go. All right, good enough. All right, so we got that in there. Let's turn these off. All right, so that's 61. Remember that, 61. I don't keep turning these on and off. There is actually an app, but I did not install it properly, so. Okay, so we're gonna do one light at a time. Oh boy, okay, that's 100%. I'm barely seeing that. Okay, so we can barely see this, so we have, what are we gonna do? It's not bright enough, what are we gonna do? Well, I'm telling you it's not bright enough. It's not bright enough, what do I do? I did this earlier, I gave you the answer.
Move it closer.
Move it closer, that's right. This is the inverse square law. We're about to do some math. Here we go, math. Oh, nice, okay. Now I'm going horizontal.
It does actually matter if you're using a reflector. I don't think it's a reflector.
100%. Yeah, of course it does. That's why I said it matters in the script box. That's why I'm doing it. In the square softbox, it was not that big of a deal, but in a strip, it makes a big difference. That is what I said earlier. Thus, I was confirming what I said. All right, let's take a look. What am I looking at? Okay. Let's see. Oh, your light is eating. Oh, that's really nice, actually. It's kind of like that, actually. I'm going to bring this in a little closer. Wow, this 200 is... It's in the shot. There's a lot of stuff attached to the stand. All right, there we go. It's out. Now I'll put it back in again by going like this. Yep. It's out. What's that? Yeah, I can see it, right? It's still out. Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right, here we may have to adjust our exposure, so we might have to ask the space manager of the space to give us a little darkness. Yeah, good. I'm gonna have Seth kill some of the overheads so we can see what we got. There we go. All right, good. We got it on our shoulder. We got a little bit on our hair. All right, so let's bring these other lights back in. Now, of course, they're gonna be too bright. What did I say, 61? I opened up a stop, so we're gonna go about 30, assuming that the percentage here is right. Oh, that's pretty good. And then this one, I did not check the power, so I will just turn it on. It'll be super bright, then we'll just... Okay. Wow, being able to dim these without the color shifting is so good. Okay, here we go. All right, we've now added a separation light. You know, I wonder if this is too good. All right, we'll see. Okay, we have nice shine here. Then she's a little bit bright. Just in case, because sometimes you look and you're like, you didn't do anything. Which is sometimes true, but this time I did. Turn this one down a hair. This is one of my favorite things about LEDs versus tungsten lights, even though I love tungsten lights, is that when you start dimming tungsten lights, you get, your exposure starts to, your white balance starts to really shift to the warm, which you can use to effect. I have a heavy metal piece in my pocket, that's what I'm doing. In case you wonder what I was doing there. All right, yeah, that's pretty good, I guess. That's clean. That's clean, I think. That's clean, queen. Good, good, good. Oh, are you guys still there? Okay, good. So we got some pictures. Questions, thoughts, concerns? Not bad, right? Clean, right? So we can do what we do with our soft boxes, with our other things we use for flash, but we also have some other things, right? I've manipulated the tools that you would use for, LEDs or with the constant light. We don't get these Fresnel lights so easily on flash. I know they do make them, but they're not, exactly the same. But this pad light on the ground, super easy. We can adjust the color really simply with no gels. That just makes life a lot easier, which is why more and more, even though, like I said at the beginning, I said many years ago, oh, LEDs for stills not really a thing. Now I think they're actually very viable. Questions, thoughts, concerns? The light here in the back with the strip is 200 watts. The light in the Fresnel is 300 watts. The panel on the ground is, I have no idea. We'd have to look it up.
I think it's 400. It might be.
Maybe 400.
And you said that the one on the floor you can operate it off of the V-mount?
Yeah, these can all take V-mount batteries. They clip onto the unit here. They're DMX compatible, as far as I can tell. I think I saw a DMX hole in these. Yep, DMX. And they can be controlled by an app, the Godox app, which I failed to download properly. So
You're still using that flip phone?
still using the flip phone, exactly. Any questions online?
Also,
Yeah.
you should go by how much percent you put them on. It's not just about the
Oh, right. Well, yeah, of course. I'm not turned up nearly all the way. This one here is the 300's only at 26%. And the 200, the pad rather, is at 40%. And that one's at 100% in the back. So, yeah, and it makes a big difference, right? Because this is a hard light, barely eating up any of the power because we have a nice Fresnel lens on there. That softbox is eating up a ton of light. Cool. All right. 900? Okay. Questions?
Where's the best for LED bulbs to use?
LED bulbs? Like screw-in type? Oh, I don't know.
Daylight.
There's daylight ones, there's color-changing ones. They actually make some in the Godox line. I haven't used them, so I can't really say. If you're talking about using any kind of lights that you'd screw in, I mean, I'm not sure. I haven't used those, the photo ones, but they're making them now. Anything that's for your house, I probably wouldn't use, unless you were just kind of, that's what you get by. Okay, cool. All right, awesome. Thank you for coming to my return here at Adorama. Short notice, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching, guys, online. If you haven't already, please do like the video if you liked it. If you didn't like it, then hold on, Seth's saying something. Oh, right, you must touch the little thing right there with your phone. No, you don't touch it. You take a picture of it with your phone, and then you can go to Adorama events. You'll see all the stuff going on. We've got on the 11th, there's going to be a panel here with photographers that were operating during 9/11. There's going to be some stuff coming up. Joe McNally is coming in October. So lots of stuff going on here in the store. Check it out. Things are being added. The more people that come in to these events, the more events they'll have. So that's pretty much how this works. If you have any questions, you can put them in the comments, and I will jump back and check them in a few days and answer what I can. If you're here in the store and you have questions about some of these things or whatever, you can ask the people in the store. Again, advantage of being here.
And
Okay.
don't forget to hit like on this video, kids. All right?
Yeah,
You
and
gotta
subscribe to
support
the
this
channel.
stuff. Hit subscribe, hit the bell so you get notified when we go live, and go to Adorama events on YouTube and hit subscribe there for the other events. We good?
Oh, cool. There's actually there is a demo from the Godox rep on the screw-in bulbs. If you want to check that out, that's on the Adorama Events YouTube channel. Cool. I'm good.
Guys, thanks everybody.
Thanks, guys.